Hi, this is my review for HexHexXL. This is a card game from Smirk and Daggers, who also did Cutthroat Caverns. The game is for between, make sure the box is in there. The game is for between 3 and 6 people. The cost is listed on their website as $37.95, or if you're from like me from Britain, it's $24.53. The game is a typical stab your neighbours sort of game. It doesn't have the cooperative element with a flavour of betrayal like Munchkin or Cutthroat Caverns. Instead, it's an all-out screw everybody else sort of game. The theme of the game is that you're all wizards, warlocks, sorcerers, magi, whatever you want to call yourself, having a duel, throwing around hexes to establish your wizard-like supremacy. It's just a mechanic to hold the game together, really. As you throw hexes across the table and they go off or they explode against your opponents, you'll gain voice, which is the method for scoring in the game, and they'll lose voice, and at the end of the game, the person with the most voice wins. Your only defense against the hexes that are flung across the table at you by your fellow wizards is a handful of cards, which sort of reflects, I imagine, like your counter spells, that sort of thing. These vary from being really simple, that when the hex comes towards you, you just pass it to the person on your left, you pass it to the person on your right. There are some intermediate ones that, for instance, you might pass it to the person on your left, and then that hex can only be passed that way, which obviously increases the chance that someone won't be able to defend themselves, or they can get very complicated, like when the hex comes at you, you split it in half, and then you have two hexes, and one goes to your left, and one goes to your right, and that sort of thing. There are a massive amount of cards, which you'll see when we look in the box later. I'll say right now, I think this is an excellent game. It's fast-paced, both in terms of the game length. The game won't take very long to play, and the pace while you play it. It's a very open game. People who don't want to have to consider all the options, who find too many decisions to make, doesn't make a fun game. You know, they look at a board game, conquest game, and they're just turned off by, well, do I move here? Do I move there? Do I, or in a more involved one-on-one card game like Magic or Warhammer Invasion. HEXHEX is played in rounds, so even if you made a terrible mistake and completely messed yourself up, you'd only be messed up for one round. And the game is so quick, you can have so many games in an evening and involve everyone at the same time that it doesn't matter. Or when somebody new comes into the group, you can say, oh, you've got to play HEXHEX, and it's not, but first, here's 15 minutes of rules. It's simple enough that you can introduce somebody straight into it. In our gaming group, we had somebody come who had never played any geek games before in his life. He was Monopoly, he was Hearts at most, was slightly turned off by the idea of the wizard theme, and it didn't matter because 10 minutes into the game, after he understood, oh, so this will pass it left, this will pass it right, it didn't matter to him that he was throwing around hexes or anything. It was fun. Some rounds can be very simple. There's one hex, you're passing it around, it goes left, it goes right, it goes across the table, and that can be it. And then the next round you could have 6 hexes flying around the table, all kinds of counter spells, and this one can't go right, and that one, if it touches you, hurts you straight away, and you can't, and I can't look at my cards because you played this on me and you stunned me, so I can't. It can get very involved, but we've never had analysis paralysis while playing this game. It doesn't fit into the feel. If someone's taking too long for their turn, in our group anyway, everyone will just badger you to finish so we can keep playing. You get a lot in the box. This is the contents of the HexHexXL box. First of all, you've got your rules, plain black and white, very short, only 4 pages of rules with 2 pages of optional rules for the variants. And then you've got your deck of cards. You've got 2 huge decks, which will be used in any version of HexHex you play. And then you have your additional cards here. Here they are. Use the variants, whether it's Vexed, which are the green ones, or Sticks, which are the purple ones. These are the sticks that are used in the HexHex Sticks version, which I'll tell you about later. Very thick, very good quality, and they have to be because these babies go around the table a lot. And underneath the sticks we have the trackers, which are used to keep track of your score in the game. See-through green gems. I've attached the blue tack because in order for them to accurately keep track of your score, if they just sit on there, even in a normal game they might get knocked around, but in HEXHEX, when you've got cards flying over the table and people grabbing sticks, they will get knocked off. Whereas the blue tack keeps them on, keeps them safe. You can say it's a bit of the design flaw that you need to put blue tack on them for them to work, but I mean I don't really consider it any more of a problem than putting rubber bands around my cards in a card game. Then you have all your tokens. This is the hexed and vexed token for if you play the vexed variant, and here you've got your normal HexHex token. This is the main one used in the game, and then you have all your variants, whether it's being boosted, rotted, maddening compulsion, escalating obsession, whatever it is, you've got plenty of tokens for it, and these will just sit neatly on top of a normal hex, and so you can easily see what's going on. Camp his dick wet with his